Hey, this is Bexx with Savvy Squirrel Social. And if you really want to learn how to level up your life, you should be listening to the Time to Shine Today podcast with my good friend, Scott Ferguson. Let's level up.
Time to Shine Today podcast varsity squad. It's Scott Ferguson, and I have a little bit of a hometown friend here, somebody that I kind of consider like a little sister, and we kind of laugh about that. But her name's Bexx Prechtl, and she is with Savvy Squirrel Social. And she's just amazing. For her age, she's 26 years old. She's excited to tell you about that. She's excited to share her business, her passion. I find with a lot of younger people that I coach, and I'm not coaching Bexx, but find that with a lot of people I coach, they have like big dreams, but they don't do the work. And the thing about Bexx is she does the work. She's did the work. She continues to do the work, and it all comes from a place of service. So even just disregard her age, she leaves some solid knowledge nuggets in our conversation. And I want you to really write them down and run with them because they're just amazing. If you like this, please like it and subscribe to it because my sponsors and affiliates absolutely love it. So without further ado, here comes my really good friend, Bexx Prechtl from Savvy Squirrel Social. Let's level up. Time to Shine Today podcast varsity squad. This is Scott Ferguson, and I have some home cooking here who was introduced to me by my really good friend, Debbie Borger. I got the rock star, Rebecca Prechtl, or like affectionately her friends and also business acquaintances call her Bexx. That's Bexx, Bexx. She's a 26-year-old multi-business female founder that has been dominating the online world, helping businesses market themselves using creative graphic design, social media content, and custom marketing strategies. And squad, you know that I kind of vet a lot of my guests out and say, like, because you have a lot of kids. I'm 52 years old. I'm sitting here looking at my awesome sauce friend, Bexx, it's 26, and I do vet people out because some people talk a lot and there's no walk, but my good friend Bexx, she's walked. And you'll like, as we get into the conversation, you'll see what I'm talking about. She's out there absolutely crushing it. And again, I'm blessed to have her as a neighbor here in South Florida. And Bexx, thank you so much for coming on. Please introduce yourself to Time to Shine Today podcast varsity squad. But first, what's your favorite color and why?
My favorite color is white.
White.
Which is it's more of a shade, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
But I just like how clean and minimalist it is, and you can add little pops of contrast here and there. So
yeah,
I like the look of it.
What would be your second?
Probably light gray.
Gray? Okay. Very
Yeah.
cool. Is that like a Long Island thing or what's going on with
I don't know. I only wear black, white, and gray. My room is all white. Like that's just the vibe.
You know, it's funny you do, but when I saw you interview Debbie, you were wearing like this peach color, I think, or an orange or something. But that's the only time, come to think of it, it's the only time I haven't seen you in like black or gray.
Actually, it was a black and white striped shirt.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, the orange was probably the lighting because the lighting it's a bit of a like warm tone.
Gotcha.
That the lighting is, so it probably made the white look a little orange.
Gotcha. Right on. So let's get to the roots of you, because again, you're just kind of getting started in this world, but you've done a ton up to this part of into your, like, just call it your lifestyle, your career. But where did you get started and have this entrepreneurial spirit like baked into you?
Yeah, so ever since I was a kid, I always wanted to be a business owner. I knew like I was going to run a business. I wanted to build an empire. It was always my goal. I never really saw myself working for other people. And my dad also, he was my best friend growing up and raised me as a very independent go-getter. So I honestly think that he had a lot of influence into me becoming a business owner. But basically, when I graduated college, it was 2020. So we all know what happened in 2020. That was the COVID pandemic. And I got kicked off campus at school, had to come home, finish the semester at home. And even in college, like I was like, well, I know I'm going to own my own business. I never thought it would be as soon as it had happened. But it was almost as if the universe knew that I was meant to be a business owner. And it was like, bam, pandemic, you can't find a job. The world is shut down. You just graduated college and there's no opportunities for you. So you can just sit at home. And I was like, well, I'm not going to sit at home and do nothing. Right. So I ended up, I had done um what is it called? Affiliate marketing
Yeah.
throughout college. So I started that in 2016 as a freshman in college, doing affiliate marketing, helping brands promote themselves online, doing a lot of UGC creation. And I was just doing that because I genuinely enjoyed it.
Right.
And I was just getting free product discounts and promoting their brands to people. So that's how I kind of learned how to do my own marketing in a sense. I was teaching myself because I feel like in college we didn't really learn much of that. It was more, if you did it hands on, you were able to learn it a lot quicker, and it was more effective through learning it myself than having someone teach me from a textbook. So that's where I had started with marketing. And like I said, the pandemic hit. So I took what I learned from doing affiliate marketing and was like, well, let me see if I can launch my own brand. So I taught myself how to build Shopify websites because I figured ecom would be a good starting point since you can do it all online. And I launched a basically hoodies and sweatpants and socks type of brand. So cozy brand. And
Sure.
the whole vibe around the brand was that I wanted it to be all unisex sizing and just like unisex in general so that everyone could be a part of it. I named it 1.XX, so XX for Bexx, and then the one because I was like, we are all one, we're all one species on one
Ooh,
planet.
I love it.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so I wanted it to be something that united everybody. And I had all these smiley face socks and I would put little decals on the hoodies, the sweatshirts, and everything. And
Yeah.
I held some inventory for a while and I basically promoted it on social media because that's really the only place when you're in a pandemic you can promote things
Right.
anyway. So, and at that time, social media was just starting like to get huge with businesses online and marketing and e-com and all that stuff. I was pretty much just before the whole movement of it. So riding the wave before the wave even happens. And basically my brand sold out pretty quickly. I used my friends to help promote, so we had photo shoots and everything. I used micro influencers, so I reached out to them on social media, had them promoting to their
Hell yeah.
communities to build trust with my brand.
Yeah.
And I kind of learned quickly. I was like, I'm not really passionate about ecom too much because I did have to hold inventory. The shipping times would take a while sometimes. So I think I just lost power or something. I don't know what
I still
happened.
got you.
Okay.
We
Well,
can
the
edit
lighting,
anything, love. Don't worry about it.
yeah, the lighting went out. I don't know what happened with that, but so what was I saying?
There we go. It's back.
Yeah, it's back. Woo!
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. That was weird. But yeah, so I basically used these influencers to promote everything. And then after finding out that it wasn't really my passion, I was like, all right, well, now I have all of my hoodies and sweatshirts are gone, but I have all these socks. So then I ended up finding a local boutique on Long Island where I used to live, where they partnered with locals and they would sell the locals products and then we would split it 50-50. So I gave them the rest of my inventory for my socks and kind of had a way with that e-commerce brand. I was like, okay, you just take my socks, and they sold my socks in their store, and kind of I just get like a passive income from that. And then after that, I was still kind of teaching myself the ropes with marketing, building websites, just practicing building a bunch of different brands and stuff. And I had listed some services on Fiverr, which is a freelance
Sure.
website for hiring contractors and everything. And I had gotten hired off of there by a digital marketing startup that was actually based in Boca Raton. So I worked remote from New York for this marketing startup. And they had like 10 clients and there was 3 of us working there. So I managed all their clients on social media and created all the content for them, created all the copy. And I would say that's really where my social media marketing journey for businesses and brands really got started because my boss had taught me everything I knew about the design platforms, how to do copywriting, how to lay out designs in a way that looked nice.
Sure.
So that's really where it began. And after the contract ended, I was like, you know what? Like, I've always wanted my own brand. I'm going to go and get my own clients now.
Right.
So basically, I was trying to think of a name. I was like, what would I call my marketing company? And I was like, it's going to have social in it. It's got to be something where it's saying like something I'm good at. So I turned to Google. I was like, whoa, what's a name for something I'm good at that starts with an S? And they came up with Savvy. So I was like, Savvy's perfect. And I've always been an animal lover. So I was like, well, what's an animal that's social that starts with an S? And it said squirrel. So I was like, oh my God, I love that. Savvy Squirrel Social. So that's
Love
where
it.
my first business grew and came from, was this Savvy Squirrel Social. I launched an Instagram for it and just started creating a bunch of posts offering tips, tricks, just everything you could know about growing your brand on social media. And I started posting results that I've gotten for other businesses on LinkedIn, Facebook. I went into businesses within my community and was just sparking up conversations with them, asking them like what they were doing for their marketing, if they knew about social media, if they were using it, and educating them on why they need to be using it in today's world. Because at this point, when I launched the company, it was 2021. So a year after the pandemic, when we were just able to start going back into the world. And I was like, well, if this ever happens again, like, what do you have in place that's going to help you still be able to run your business and
Mm,
communicate with your customers? Because you can't go into your actual store now. So you need another outlet. So basically, telling them what I do and helping them. So I had some beta clients from
okay.
that I used
So
to
testing clients.
for testing, basically.
Sure.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
got a good portfolio built. I got word of mouth people that were working with me. Then they would go and tell other people about me. And that's how I got a lot of other clients through that. And then at this point, I was still in Long Island and I still had to work other jobs on the side because it wasn't enough to be on my own doing my business.
Sure.
But that was until I invested in a coaching program where she helped me grow my company like within 6 months. Like after investing in that business, I mean, that coaching program, like it was a huge investment. I was terrified, but I took the leap of faith. I was like, I have nothing to lose. I don't want to be on Long Island anymore. So if this is going to get me to where I want to be, then I'm going to do it. So I took out a loan to be able to go through this program. And
Wow. That's
yeah, it
amazing.
was
Yeah.
it was really scary. My parents were like, "You're crazy. You're giving your money to
You
this
know, I got
random."
to ask you that, Bex. I'm going to interject real quick.
Yeah.
So, your parents probably helped you out with college. I'm thinking some help
Mm.
you through college. So that's an investment, right? And then, like you and I, you're like my sister from another mister because I started in affiliate marketing as well. And Squad, if you don't know what affiliate marketing is, it's like everything on this planet is really affiliate marketing. If you look at McDonald's, you don't own the building of McDonald's, you don't own the burgers, you own the right to sell McDonald's, and you get a percentage of the sales, and that's all that affiliate marketing is. Or think of a car lot. They don't own the cars, they don't own the real estate that it sits on, but they own the rights to sell the cars. And that's what Bexx did, is she took items, had the right to sell them and make a commission on them. And that's affiliate marketing. But so what did your parents think, Bexx, when you're like, dude, I'm gonna go the entrepreneurial route? And were they hesitant at first and on board, or like, I'm just curious what they thought?
Yeah, they thought I was out of my mind,
Okay.
crazy. I actually can remember in detail sitting in the car with my mom and telling her about what I did, and she was like, "Are you crazy?" She was like, "Do you even know what kind of credentials this person has? Like, you just gave them $10,000 and that's it?" Like, she was like, "You're out of your mind." Like, she's like, "I hope this pays off for you, but like you need to have a backup plan." And it was honestly terrifying,
Sure.
saying like I just up and did this thing, and I was like, I literally have nothing to lose except for the fact that I know like I'm not living the life I want to. So in order for me to live the life I want to and to get there quicker, investing in somebody who's already done it. Like I followed this girl on Instagram for so long. I saw all of her credentials. I saw what she was doing for other people, and I was like, you know what? Like I'm going to do it. Like I honestly I trust her.
You
I
want to
see
give
what
her a
she
shout out?
Yeah, her name is Lucy Vincent, and she works with females specifically, helping them scale their business. And she's built a community around it too. So it's like you also get to be in this community where others are on the same journey as you, and you get to reflect and bounce ideas off each other. And it's just a very supportive
Celebrate
thing,
wins. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, to be a part of, because I didn't have anybody who was doing this. I didn't really have a lot of friends that were entrepreneurs.
Sure.
We're just doing the regular American grind type of thing. And I
Right.
was very alone. I
It's
remember
lonely, right?
it is.
Yeah.
And I remember when I first started and everything, and I was working like 16-hour days. Like I was glued to my computer, locked in my bedroom. I would not go to events. Like my parents would be like, "You're so unsocial. You're not going to any events, blah, blah, blah." And meanwhile, I had this bigger vision in my mind. I was like, well, you know what? You don't understand because you haven't done it. And I know what I want, and I know to get to where I want to be, this is what I have to do. And I need to focus and I need to grind.
Right.
And that's exactly what I did. And I did that for, what is it, 2024 now? So I started in 2021. So it's been 3 years.
Yeah.
I would say this past year was the scaling point after I invested in that coaching program because I paid off that loan within
I was
like
just gonna say, did you pay off that loan?
within 3 months of being in the
Hell
program.
yeah. It's my girl.
So it worked. It worked out perfectly, and
Yeah.
the program was 6 months. So I stayed in it until I finished that program, and like the amount of money like I made just from investing $10,000 into myself is literally amazing. And I got more value out of that program than I did in college
Four
because
years of college, right?
yeah,
You
the
know,
professors
it's
they
funny,
didn't.
Bex, like I get brought into high schools to teach, or I'm sorry, to speak to students, and I didn't go to school. I went in the military, right? And they'll pull me to the side and they're like, should I even go to college? And I'm like, yes. I tell them yes. And they're like, well, why you didn't? I'm like, because the connections you'll make while you're in college, if you do the networking part of college the right way. But then you'll also see someone in that crowd that's like you, that's just like, dude, like I want to go this different route, that fork in the road moment. But I tell kids, go to school because they're not built like you and I. You know what I'm saying? They
Mhm.
need that. And frankly, you and I need those people, the kind of sheep, if you will. And I'm not saying that derogatory, but they kind of follow the crowd and do that, where we're kind of like rhinoceroses, rhinos with thick skin and the big horn and blasting through stuff. So if you were to go back, like first of all, have you seen the movie Back to the Future?
I don't think
It's
so.
long, it's old, dude. So it's gonna be like
Yeah.
40 years old. So, anyways, it's an awesome movie. And this dude like goes back in time and tries to get his parents together and stuff. So let's go back in time. Let's go back to the 18-year-old, which isn't that far away, like 8 years or so for you. But let's go back to the 18-year-old Bex. Is there any knowledge nuggets you might drop on her with what you know now? Not so much to change anything, because your journey's been pretty awesome, right? And there's a lot of learning, but maybe to shorten a learning curve just a little bit. What might you tell the 18-year-old Bex to make her maybe blast through just a little bit quicker?
So I would tell her to go out and network more and to talk to people more. I actually, when I was in like high school, I had really bad social anxiety. Actually, I completely overcame it. I don't know how. I guess just when I got my first job working, I started talking to people, realized it wasn't that scary, but I did
Hmm.
suffer from social anxiety as a child, and then
Okay.
going into college and everything. I also suffered with a little bit of well, a lot of anxiety in terms of the testing and everything, but a little bit of social anxiety too.
Okay.
So I also had like a mindset. My mind was not in the right space.
Okay.
So I would tell her also to start journaling and to start really just like trusting in herself and getting like clear on what you want. Because when I wrote down what I really wanted to achieve in my life and what I wanted my future life to look like, that's kind of when it all started unfolding into what it is now. So it's almost like I asked for what I want. I said, what this is how I want my life to go. And now I'm living the life that I wrote about.
Yes.
So I would tell her to start journaling right away, to start making those
Yeah.
connections with
Yeah.
people, that it's not scary,
Yeah.
and to put yourself out there as much as possible. So many businesses and so many business owners and just like people in general, like they're terrified of putting themselves online and showing up online because, oh my God, someone's going to judge me. They're going to say this, they're going to say that, or I'm not pretty enough. I'm not this, I'm not that. But if you reframe your mind and tell yourself, no, like I am good enough. Like I am amazing at what I do. I'm an amazing person. Like just reframing that into something positive about yourself. It really empowers you and changes your mindset and the way you think about
Yes.
yourself and your things and your business, and putting yourself out there is not scary. Like if somebody doesn't like you, like who cares? Who cares what they think? They're irrelevant and it's probably just a reflection of them, honestly.
Exactly.
People who hate
I
on
make
other
two New Year's
people,
resolutions. What's that?
I said people who hate on other people, it's they're unhappy with themselves and they see you doing something amazing and they're like, wow, I kind of wish I was doing that, but I'm just gonna hate on her
Yeah.
because like I have nothing better to do with my time.
Hate is the language of an underachiever. That's the
Hmm.
bottom line. If there's any haters out there that hear it, too bad. You're an underachiever. Haters is the emotion, the language of an underachiever. And I make two New Year's resolutions every year, Bex. One, make someone smile every single day, no matter what, make them smile. And number two, unless I've hurt you, judged you, disrespected you, or owe you, I give zero fucks about what you think about me. I
Hmm.
don't care if I have not hurt you. If I've hurt you, I will apologize profusely and ask for forgiveness. But if I haven't, I don't care. And that's where a lot of the people that follow those three-letter words on TV, Fox News, CNN, like everything else, they're going to follow that. Where you have a trailblazer like you, I feel safer in my future with people like you out there. Okay. Because my generation, we got after it. We didn't have cell phones and stuff like that growing up. Right. I
Hmm.
mean, we did in our late 20s, early 30s, but not young. Right. And we're not glued to it and being freaking hypnotized by it. But so with, I got to ask you this. You're young, and so don't hate me for asking this, but like, how do you want your dash remembered? That little line in between your incarnation date and your expiration date, your life date and death date. You ever see a tombstone? It says born and then died, and there's a little dash. There's a lot that happens on that dash. Okay, I know you're young, and I hope that expiration date's way freaking down the line. Okay, but how do you want that dash remembered? How does Bex want to be remembered?
I want to be remembered knowing that I impacted this earth and everybody on it in such a positive way. Like, I want to be remembered as such a positive light in people's life. And just the fact that I had an impact on somebody in like even if they're going through something terrible, like a lot of times you can just say something nice and that changes that person's life. So knowing that I changed people's lives and created a business that's not just a business but an empire is really important to me. I partner with Speak Up for Kids. They're a nonprofit
Saw
in
that.
Compton
Yeah.
County. Yeah, they donate and support foster children, advocating for them. So my company's raising money for them. We just donated a couple baskets for their gala. I had Barbara on our podcast, and it's really empowering and impactful knowing that I'm able to help make an impact on this earth. Like there's not enough positivity and love in the world, and I just want to be shown as that like light, honestly.
I feel so much better with you on this earth. You know what I'm saying? And so, what do you think, Bex, then people misunderstand the most about you?
This is a good question because the biggest problem I have is people look at me and they're like, well, one, I don't look 26. A lot of people think I'm like 18. So
I did,
when I
remember?
and being that I am so young and I'm also a female, I feel like women in business don't always get a lot of respect from other business
Right.
people. I'm not saying everybody, but I feel like there is a lot.
And with all due respect, if you're watching on Vimeo or YouTube, she's absolutely stunning. Like, I'm sure you get a lot of that as well, where they're kind of like have ulterior motives versus wanting to do business with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
sometimes.
no, I
Yeah,
get
but I'm
it.
able
And you're
to kind of
just get used
pick
to it,
that
kid.
out.
Get used to it.
Yeah.
It sucks. But so, like, yeah, I can see that where people might not take you seriously at first until they
Yeah.
get to know you. And that's
Yeah.
why when we had coffee, I was like, all right, this kid gets it. I'm gonna big brother her and be like, dude, whatever she needs locally, I got her. You know what I'm saying? I don't do that a lot. Very private person. So how about like what is your definition then of a life well lived?
Well, I love traveling, so a
Okay.
life well lived is a well-traveled life where you're making a positive impact on society.
Wow. That's strong. And you're 26, man. That
Yeah, and I've almost seen all 50 states. I've been to Asia, Europe, Canada, islands, Mexico. So I've gotten around. I've experienced a
I
lot.
love it. And how about your definition of success?
I mean, besides wanting to kind of hit that millionaire mark, that would be pretty awesome. That would definitely make me feel really
Oh, you
successful.
will. You'll
Honestly,
hit it many times over. 100%.
I I already feel very successful being the first CEO in my family. Like
Okay.
no, I was kind of always the underdog. No one really expected it from me,
Black
especially
sheep
I was
action.
yeah, I was always a black sheep, kind of. I have ADHD, so school was a little bit tough. I went undiagnosed my whole school life, and I was told, "Oh, you're just going to be like an art teacher because you're good at art, or you're going to be this." And I was like, "Well, I don't want to do that."
Yeah,
So no one really expected me to be a CEO, especially at my age. I mean,
sure.
I expected it maybe in my 30s, but at such a young age, and after being told that like I was so sick back in 2021, and when I started this all, I was told that I was going to be the next person to die in my family, and
Yeah.
now I'm the first CEO of my family. Like
Oh, yeah.
it's kind of it makes me already feel really successful, and knowing that I've been able to just build this dream life of mine.
Yeah. And so you mentioned that millionaire market, which again, I know you're going to hit that easily sooner than what you think and many times over. But what do you think then that because my definition of success is living a life of options and not obligations, right?
Hmm.
Like I get to do what I want when I want. I know I have to pay my bills, but it's already done. It's paid. It's like, meh, I want to have those options. What is money then? Especially asking someone at your age, your thoughts on it. What does money do for you?
So for me, money will never make me happy. Like, I mean, I don't have $1 million right now, and I'm literally the happiest I've
Yeah,
ever
but
been.
neither will
Um,
poverty, right?
Money
So
just it's able to buy you that security and peace of mind, knowing that you can live your life on your own terms. You can afford food when you go to the grocery store, and you can also help other people by donating to different
there you
organizations you
go.
feel passionate about, or going to other countries and helping them, like say Africa or something, and
Yeah,
helping their villages, and being able
yeah,
to use your money for good for the rest of the earth, because at the end of the day, like we all live on the same planet, like we all are the same species, like we should all be helping each other. And I feel
yes,
like if I had enough money to really be able to help everybody on the earth, or even like animals too, if you think about it,
yeah,
that would be like something amazing, and that
yeah.
would really be able to bridge that gap of making an impact in the world, is having enough money to be able to afford to make that impact.
Money gives you options.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it does. It gives you options, period. And I love that you're talking about giving back, which that is 100% needed. But doing that also helps with taxes. I'm saying when you donate, there's loopholes there, right?
Mhm.
So you're getting it, and I love that. Time to shine today, podcast Varsity Squad. We are back, and Bex, you and I have talked about a few of these questions in person before, but today in the lightning round, you have 5 seconds with no explanations, and I promise you
Oh,
they can all be answered that way. You ready to level up?
yeah.
She's like, yeah,
I'm
let's
a
rock.
yapper. It's hard to give me 5 minutes.
No, it's 5 seconds.
But
Five
oh, five
seconds.
seconds.
Yes,
Oh god.
no explanations. Ready? They can all be answered that way. I promise you. Here we go.
Okay.
Bex, what's the best leveling up advice you've ever received?
Invest in yourself.
Love it. Share one of your personal habits that contributes to your success.
Making my bed every morning.
Hell yeah. So if you see me walking down the street or we're at an event or you and I are just hanging out and like Fergie looks like he's in his doldrums a little bit. And what book would you hand me that maybe flipped a switch in your mind that you've read for a more positive
Um,
outlook?
for a positive outlook, oh, I've read so many self-help books. I really like Level Up by Rob Dial.
Hell yeah, he stole my stuff. I I know Rob actually, so it's funny. We
Really?
joke
Oh
about
my
it.
god, I love his podcast. It's so
Yeah.
good.
What's your most commonly used emoji when you text?
Probably the laughing face.
Gotcha. Any other nicknames besides Bex?
Becca, Becky, Beck. My family used to call me Becca Boo.
Okay, I love it. I love it. So, any hidden talents and or superpowers that you have that nobody knows about until now?
I'm really good at reading energies, so I can like, not that I'm a medium or anything, but
No, I
I'm
got you.
so I can really pick up on other people's energies and everything,
Nice.
so I know when something's wrong without you saying it.
Love it. Chess checkers or Monopoly?
Monopoly.
All right. Headline for your life.
Queen building an empire.
Love it. You buy into any superstitions?
Ooh, I don't know, maybe like aliens. I
Okay.
really think aliens exist, if that's a superstition.
Go to ice cream flavor.
I am dairy intolerant and
Okay.
I also can't break down sugar, so I
So
don't
this
eat.
we'll skip that one. So there's a
Yeah.
sandwich called the Beckaboo. Build that sandwich for me. What's on the sandwich?
It would be chicken, lettuce. Yeah, that's probably
That's
it.
very, very nice. Fair enough. Favorite charity and or organization like to give your time and or money to?
Like I said, I donate to Speak Up for Kids and the Save the Manatees.
Nice.
I think it's
Hell
just Save.
yeah. So last question, you can elaborate on this one a little bit, but what's the best decade of music? Like, I know I'm gonna go way back here. 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, or 2000s.
I like the 2000s and like 2010s.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Who's your kind of go-to from when you were a kid? Because I wasn't really listening to the new
Ooh.
stuff then.
I mean, I was diehard Justin Bieber
I was just
fan.
gonna say, were you a Bieber? I
I was
love
such
that. That's
a
awesome. I
Bieber.
actually played him this morning when I was working. I swear to God, I had him
Yeah.
on in my workout room. It was just funny. He came on. I didn't play him, but he came on. I just left it
Mm.
on. That's awesome. So Bex, how can we find you, love?
I am on social media at Savvy Squirrel Social, also Beans and Brew Media, the One PCT Journal. Those are all three of my brands, so you can connect with me there. And then TikTok too, Savvy Squirrel Social or the One PCT Journal. And then
Okay.
my website, savvysquirrelsocial.com or beansandbrewmedia.com.
I love it. And Squad, I'm going to put everything in the show notes so you can go visit her there as well if you look down below. So tell us a little bit about this 1% journal.
Yeah, so the 1% journal is something that I created to help people stay disciplined and consistent on like a self-improvement journey. I I struggle a lot with that. So this was something that helped me when I've been on my journey, like reflecting on my day and what I can do to make changes that would be different. So I kind of started to focus on just being 1% better each day instead of trying to be like perfect all the time, just making small, minuscule changes that I could implement daily and stack on top of each other for at the end of the month. Then you look back and you're like, wow, like I was able to do these small 1% and now I'm a completely changed person by the end of the month, and it just helps you step into that next level of
Sure.
what you want to be and helps you get clear on what you want. So inside the journal there's a lot of empowering quotes, weekly manifestations, weekly planner, self-reflection questions, habit formation questions. It teaches you how to basically step into your next level self. And I just hope that it can help other people be able to achieve the dreams and goals that they want for
It's
themselves.
awesome that you're doing this because my coaching clients, and I know you're out there, I know you listen, I'm a pain in the ass with this. Like they have to journal and I have a certain format that they journal by because I'm a big believer that the journal activates the RAS, the reticular activating system, right?
Yeah.
So, and a lot of people don't know what that is, but what it is like if Bex was like, "Hey, Fergie, I just got a Tesla." I'm like, "What's a Tesla?" And she's like, "Well, come over and check it out." So I come over there, I see her emotion attached to the Tesla. I think, "Oh, that's an awesome Tesla." On my ride home, how many Teslas do you think I'm going to see? They'll be
Yeah,
all over because
it completely changes your brain. It
yes,
rewires your neural
yes,
pathways.
the
That's why it's
reticular
literally
activating system. Exactly. Yes.
yeah,
So I
and
love that you did this.
it goes into too, like when you're looking at what you want to achieve and your dream life, it's important to embody the feelings associated with that as if it's already yours too.
Exactly.
So you want to get excited about being a millionaire, like you want to feel as if you already are that millionaire and start acting like that person every single day. What does that millionaire do every single day? And then you're going to act exactly like them. You're going to live that life every single day until it becomes your life.
Yes.
And that's kind of what the journal is for too.
Is it formatted a certain way for that, or is it just blank pages? Do you give them directions in there? Like what's going on with the
Yeah, so there's guides inside the journal. It gives you little prompts as well and descriptions on how to do it, how to do the exercises. Uh, there's
nice?
there's a couple pages for just notes if you want to just brain dump in there, but there's a lot of prompts, a lot of mind reframing trainings and techniques as well. And like I said, a lot of empowering quotes too.
I love it. And squad, the journal, a link to the journal is in the show notes, but I am going to do a 2 journal giveaway, or 1 to 2 different people. First person that puts Becca Boo in any of our social, I don't care if it's Pinterest, I don't care if you text it at 561-440-3830. If you put in Becca Boo anywhere, the first 2 people that do, I'm going to, on Time to Shine today's dime, I'm going to send a journal out. And this is the best part, because Bexx is local, I can go to her and get her to sign it for you and make it out to you personally. So I'm going to do that for, again, the first 2 people that put in Becca Boo into the journal. And then also quickly, tell me a little bit about what you're launching with the Beans and Brews, Bexx.
Yeah, so Beans and Brew is an extension to Savvy Squirrel Social, and I formed it because I am a diehard coffee fan, and I wanted to be able to support coffee shops and coffee shop owners with their marketing and their social media. I know it's hectic behind that counter trying to do drinks and serve customers and everything. So this is my solution for them to help them not feel so overwhelmed and still be able to show up online, showing how awesome their coffee shop is online, forming a community around it to drive more traffic into their store. So it's a full service marketing, PR. I'm also going to be launching a course to help them out. And we have a supportive Facebook group as well that I'm trying to build just for coffee shop owners to come. It's called Coffee Crew Connections. And it's basically a place where I can be able to support them and they can network with other coffee shop owners too. We can bounce ideas off each other and they can get their marketing questions answered, social media support, things like that.
I love it. And I love that you wrote create your custom marketing blend, like a blend of a coffee, from email
Yeah.
marketing, websites, event planning, ad campaigns, merchandise design. So you're kind of covering it all to help them kind of take them to the next level. And obviously, this is kind of
Yeah.
for the more mom and pop coffee joints right now, right? You're not kind of doing the big box brands yet, right?
Yeah, so the goal is to eventually branch out across the United States. That will
Okay.
be amazing. And
Sure.
also working with franchise coffee brands as well, being able to go to their corporate and say, hey, I do this, we do these services. If you want to offer them as part of your franchise package to your individual
Mm,
coffee shops, I'd love to partner with you as
brilliant.
franchise as well. Really trying to reach some local people now, get some trials stuff going with their content and everything. But yeah, the goal is it's pretty big, the goal.
That's No, that's awesome. What, inch by inch, it's a cinch, right? By the yard,
Mhm.
it's hard. You're taking the baby steps and getting them going. So, Becca, as we sign off, please do me a solid and leave us with one last knowledge nugget we can take with us, internalize, and take action on.
Yeah, so I would tell you that if you have a dream and you have a vision, just take action and get it done.
Just get going, take that massive action, right? So, squad, I just had a super fun conversation with somebody I consider kind of like a little sister, and actually a really good friend, Bexx Prechtl. She knew she wanted to be a business owner, an empire builder. She had solid family roots, but she kind of went against the grain and started. She's the first CEO of her family. The thing is at first she taught herself. She didn't make excuses. She made adjustments, because that's what winners do. She taught herself to ride that wave before the wave even really happened. She adapts and overcomes. Well, the story that came to mind is she had all this overflow of socks. She could have sat there and sold them herself and made a little bit more money, but she dumped them into another company that sold them, split the profits with her, and she still made out very well. She leaned into what she really wanted and invested herself with Miss Lucy Vincent, which, Lucy, this is a shout out to you. We have crossed paths, and she's a freaking phenomenal coach. And she
She
wants you
is.
to remember that to network. And the way to network, squad, is God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth. Shut your mouth and see who in that room you can help. If you can help people, you plant the service. And when you plant the service, we harvest the cash. That's the way it happens. She will be remembered as somebody that impacted this earth with positivity in a positive light, live a very well-traveled life. And again, she didn't make excuses with her ADHD. She took her strengths and she is leaning into her dream and making it massive. And that's what she wants you to do. And Bex, you level up your health, you level up your wealth. You're absolutely gorgeous. I absolutely love your guts, and I can't wait to see where this journey takes you. And if there's ever anything I can do for you, just please let me know. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yay, chat soon. Hey, thanks so much for listening to this episode of Time to Shine today, proudly brought to you by Inlet Properties and Investments. If you are a business owner or professional who would like to be interviewed on the Time to Shine Today podcast, please visit timetoshinetoday.com/guest. If you like this episode, please subscribe on Apple Podcasts, YouTube Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or wherever you get your podcasts. There's a link in the show notes to our website. Also, there you will see our recommended resources. We hope you will help support our show by supporting them. If you like what you have been listening to, it'd be great if you could give us a 5-star rating and tell your friends how to subscribe while you're at it. I'm your host, Scott Ferguson, and until next time, let's level up. It's your time to shine.